everything.
Oh, the chickens are so cute. The little babies are starting to get their pin feathers, and
Who is this?
I
This is
looked at
Excuse
them
Coach.
me. Who
today.
is this?
Hold, hold on, you gotta let Mudrabbit finish answering your question
Who
before
is
you
this?
interrupt her to ask who's coming on panel.
Read his
Sorry.
name. I have 4 females and 1 rooster.
Perfect.
I finally figured out how to tell the sex today without doing the little squeeze thing because
Oh,
I
you
don't
got
want to
some
hurt them.
eggs.
Huh? No. Yeah, somebody hatched them and gave them to me the day they were hatched.
Oh, I feel sorry
No.
for anybody that hatched those eggs.
No,
That's what
Tony,
I'm saying.
I pulled
Whose
up
eggs
your
Oh,
rocks.
whose
I pulled
eggs
up
are
your rocks,
those?
Mudrabbit. They're on the screen.
okay. That's my toe against it to give you a general idea how big that is. That's my foot.
You got little feet.
I'm a size 7.5, but that rock right there is heavy. And these litter the beach in Virgin Gorda
Cool.
because
Ready for the
it's not a
Have you
volcanic.
tried cutting one?
No, they're a granite, solid granite, because there's broken ones
Okay.
out on the beach too.
You ready for
That's
the shocker?
hmm,
Boom.
Uh,
That's the one.
that's my carnelian.
That's the big one.
that's not bad. That's got good color to it.
Yeah, inside it's all this nice orange.
Oh, I'm talking about the wine bottle. Come on now.
Oh, I had to put something there for size so you could see how big the rock is.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'd be happy with a find like that. Even though
Friend,
I found that big old basketball sized one, but
yeah, those are nice, the big ones. My friends who have a mine in Jamaica, I showed it to them, and they had a jewelry manufacturing little shop next to our restaurant. So I asked them what it was, and he said it was carnelian and offered to buy it from me. And
yeah,
I was
that's
like,
everybody I showed
no.
my rock to said the same thing. They're
Yeah,
like,
how much you want for it? Nope, I'm not selling it.
I'm not selling it. Exactly. The guy that cut my carnelian offered to buy one of the chunks off me.
So, how much is emerald worth? Because I have a raw emerald. I have a
Hi,
raw
Zero.
emerald that needs to. What's up, Mudrabbit? I came to hang out with you. I have a raw emerald
No.
that needs to be cut by a gemologist or whatever those things are called.
So you want to take your raw emerald and have it faceted?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I don't want it attached to something. I rather get the rock out of the raw emerald. I don't know if that's the word you're trying to say.
He said he's not
That
saying
is, yeah,
it's not fastened. It's faceted.
faceted. That's
Not
Yeah,
attached.
that's when you take a gemstone like an emerald and you cut all the faces in it to give it the best sparkle.
Yeah, that's what he wants done to
Which
the emerald.
is not it's not a cheap process at all.
No, and it cuts away most of the
that's how
rock.
come I
Yeah,
asked how much.
you lose
how
at
much
least
is an emerald
40%.
That's why I asked how much is an emerald worth.
You can look that up online.
Yeah, there are gem rating sites,
Mm-hmm.
but overall it depends on the quality of the piece
Yeah, I used to have a
and
site that
the
would give
amount
you
of
the
carat.
different grades.
So if you weigh it, 3 carats is a gram, and you can weigh that piece and know you're going to lose 40% of that piece
That's pretty
once
good
it's
knowledge to know.
once
I
it's
gotta say.
Minimal.
faceted. And then so basically you weigh it, figure out how many carats it has, then know that you're going to lose 40% of that, and then you can go to the gemology sites, and you can find those all over, that will tell you how much it's worth per carat.
It looks about 50 to 80, $100 per carat on the low end.
Yeah, which is about right.
What color emerald is it? Are all emeralds green?
No,
Okay.
No, I
That's why I
just
was
saw that
asking.
myself.
not
There's
all
like 2 or 3
rocks
different.
are a certain color. Not all
Okay,
rocks.
here's a good site. You can look at it. There's another site. I don't have it on this computer, but I used it years ago. They show you examples and
Oh, that's
they
good.
explain
Yeah.
the clarity to you and how much it was worth the clearer it gets and the better faceted.
because I've been dealing with that. I'm working with turquoise lately. The value's completely off the charts. Carnelian is one of those rocks that doesn't have value.
Jasper's
so if I
another
think
one.
about it'll probably only be like maybe 3 grams. If I think about it, I think the last time I weighed it was just under 6 grams.
Jacob.
So it'll probably
So
only
you're
be
looking at maybe a 3 grammer. That's
Jacob.
9 carat.
Damn.
Me.
What's up?
What's this?
This is the gem value site that Mudrabbit was talking about. I was
So
just
about
sharing
Can
it
we
so people could
pull
see
to
it.
it?
So about $500, I heard just stone, right? Sound about a good.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the price for the piece, yeah. I mean,
Through cross reference and everything that we just did, that's about 400 or 500 on the low end, maybe 300 on the low end.
Is it better to sell it raw than it is to get it to sell it finished?
You
it
get more
depends
when you
on
have
what you're going to do
faceted
for a
gems.
finish. You can do the faceting, have that done. It's going to cost you a fortune. Don't get me wrong, because it takes forever to do a good faceting.
And it depends on the
40 to
jeweler.
60 hours.
It depends on the jeweler too. And
Yeah.
some people like to buy the stones raw, especially diamonds.
Because they want their own person to facet it, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially in the diamond industry, if you have a hunk of coal like that, they're going to want to buy it whole.
Well, it's the same with the rubies, garnets,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Any of the good gemstones.
They want them rough.
The guy that's cutting them wants them raw. Simple as that.
And yeah, you can't just simply wash away the dirt. You can't do it. There's no way to do this without tools or something. I'm asking.
No, you gotta work them on the grinder, you know.
And some of them you can't even soak in solutions because they're porous.
Mm-hmm.
You got to check the hardness. Quartz and things like that have a hardness of 10, but then when you get down to things like your selenium, I think it's like a 4 or 5 or 3 or 4.
Selenium,
Yeah.
even the turquoise I'm working with are really soft, so I'm planning.
Yeah, they're like 2 and a 3.
I don't want to stabilize the rock because it diminishes the value right off the bat if you stabilize it.
So is it worthful to pay the money to make it from the raw material to the stone material? Even though you're saying expensive, will you turn a profit from the rock itself?
It depends on your jeweler.
And it depends on the
Whoever's cutting your
stone.
rock, yeah.
And it depends on how much you have to put into it.
I mean, you might pay $200 to have someone cut it. So, you know, then in the end, you're only making, like you said, $300. But if you put it in a good setting for like a ring or a pendant, you could up that value. I'm taking rocks right now and I'm making cabochons, and my wife is doing the silver around them. This is my black quartz ring.
What's
Oh, I
that?
make jewelry too, but I don't do it with metal. That's pretty.
You said your wife does most of the metal work, right?
Yeah, she's a silversmith. I'm just a
okay.
rock hound. But I've been getting into lapidary and doing that. I've got probably at least a dozen pieces over here I'm working on right now.
God, I wish I had pictures of the jewelry I used to make. It was beautiful.
I used to just tumble rocks and make necklaces. Do traditional Viking wire wrapping.
Oh,
And
and intricate beadwork.
How do you drill through them? Do you have to just get a bit that's
It's really, really tiny.
some diamond bits?
Yeah, some of them you have to keep them wet.
Yeah, some diamond bits are wet, some are dry. Some say both, but as far as I'm concerned, you got to keep it wet to drill.
Yeah.
Like for oil, for glazing, they use oil. They use diamond bits with oil to draw them.
Yeah, oil's the most popular because it sticks a little better than water.
Yeah.
I use water on all my work, so that's what I do. I use water to cut them. I use water to shape them. and right down to the,
I use
buffing them
water.
out.
I use water too.
What type of grinding wheel do you got? What hardness you got on your grinding wheel?
Well, I start at 80 grit and I go to 3,000.
Oh, okay, pretty
And
fine.
after that, I go to a buffing wheel that can get me up to 50, 60,000.
Is that similar to like what you would use on a car, a buffing wheel?
Oh, a car isn't even 3,000.
Isn't even 3,000?
No, not even close. Maybe 1,200. You can get a great shine on a paint job.
Yeah, because I thought those were the cloth ones that they used to buff were the really high ones.
Yeah, I actually use diamonds to 3,000.
Yeah, and they have different buffing cloths too. The
Yeah.
brushes, there's different strengths. But I can see Jacob just gave me this visual of somebody standing there with a car buffer going over.
I remember why I'm here. I remember why I'm up here, and I wanted to talk to Mudrabbit.
What's
This
up,
is only
dude?
this is only 10,000 here.
Yeah. What's up, dude?
Mud
Oh,
rabbits.
You're always going through the rabbit holes in the mud, man.
Yeah.
March 9th, the assassination files were supposed to hit. My
Yeah.
people can't find them. Have your people found them?
Yeah, it was Alex Jones today. The assassination thing that's happening is that General Flynn got in touch with Alex Jones and warned him that the Ukrainians had put a price on his head, and please be careful.
No. I'm talking about the RFK, JFK, and MLK
No,
file.
I haven't heard anything about that. Today's assassination
That was my question.
news was about
Sorry.
So we're
Alex
still trying to
Jones
find
and
out if there's
Elon.
one or two shooters, right?
Yeah, there was somebody on yesterday that was explaining how it happened, but there wasn't any papers
What
or photographs.
happened?
They
There was a
had
video clip of the driver
the
doing it as well
Zapruder
that we
film,
researched.
the Zapruder film that was given to the public had been retouched.
Mud rabbits. Mud rabbit. What happened to Alex Jones?
Alex Jones, Elon Musk have they want to unalive them, the Ukrainians. They've got a contract out on them.
Because Stephen Greer or whatever his name was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What about Stephen Greer?
Yeah,
No,
guy.
hold on a second.
Yeah,
all right,
that guy.
Hold on a second. Let me jump in the middle of this because me and Chris were talking about this earlier. I don't think there's a connection with Stephen Greer. If anything, I've always thought Stephen Greer was a psyop, and it was just I think it was just convenience that he was talking to Stephen Greer before all this happened, and that's just Alex Jones' style.
No, I did not say I said because no, I haven't heard Stephen Greer be in the mix. It was Elon Musk and Alex Jones that were warned.
Because Greer was there the day of the midnight that Jamie White got killed. Go ahead, Noelle.
Greer's a psyop. Don't believe anything he has to say.
All right, guys. So I got a couple things I got to do before dark. So
all right, have a good night, Stone. It's nice
seeing
you,
man. Bro.
So Noelle, the short term of it is Alex Jones runs a news agency, and one of his reporters lost their life recently.
Yeah,
and they're trying to figure out the connection to all of it and seeing what happened.
It wasn't just Peter getting shot and killed. Another one of his associates on the show. Somebody called. Wait, sweetie. Somebody called his house and said, "We have your wife and children." In the middle of the night, I think he said it was like 2:00 in the morning. So he woke up in the middle of the night looking for his wife and his children. And I think they were there in the house. They didn't go that much detail into it, but somebody had tried to bait him to come outside.
Is that the Jamie White one?
There was two. One got killed.
Oh, there was another one. Oh,
and
shit.
then they did another one. And these are both associates of Alex Jones. And Alex Jones has a price on his head, and so does Elon Musk.
And what makes you think that Trump does it and they're keeping it on the wraps?
Yeah, Trump does too. Yeah, there was another assassination attempt when he was in West Palm.
Excuse me, Mudrabbit.
What, sweetie?
What happened to this situation? I didn't even know this. What happened?
Which situation? The current situation?
Everything.
Well, politically is a very dangerous time right now. And a lot of the people that are trying to set the world right in this country are being threatened by people who are bad guys.
What?
It's a tale as old as time.
Yep.
Man, they just want an endless cycle of war to repeat the psyop that we're all underneath. And I might be talking over some people's heads, but some people know exactly what I'm talking about, and some people think I'm spirited nonsense.
Well, the problem is that we're trying to bring the normies up to understand it, and they're sometimes explaining it to them is confusing enough. So you have to give it to them in small doses.
Or they're too emotionally weak. That's another thing.
That's why you have to give it in small doses, because
and
they
that's
can't
the
handle it.
problem. Because that's the problem. They don't want to understand what is going on, because the moment we tell them that there's no rabbit inside of the top hat, it was all a trick from the beginning to get you to give people your energy. That's literally what it is. They're going to still look at you like you're a crazy individual.
Yeah, but at this point, Zero, we don't even have to try to
That one,
explain it to
Jacob,
them,
I really like that one.
because it's coming out now. It's coming out. I mean, you heard, I don't know if you were here the other night, but Gonzo, what was that, about 3 weeks ago? Gonzo came into chat and he says, everything Mudrabbit told us is coming true. And it's not just him I've heard that from. Other places I go on the web, people come in and go, holy shit, I thought you were crazy, and everything you told me is happening right now. And I said, yeah, keep your hat on, because there's more
And
coming.
we've been doing that for 2 decades over here, Mudrabbit, and they still look at us like we're crazy.
Sweetie, I've been doing it since the 70s. I've been doing it since the 70s.
That's what I'm stating. People like us quote real world events that happen periodically right behind we stated, and then they look at us like we're insane.
Okay,
And
when
people,
they look at you like you're insane, you just kind of have to let them be that way. You can't push it.
And people like me, although I notice the ones that are accurate, I can never forget the ones that people miss. Because there's always ones that people miss.
Yeah.
Chicken Little.
Well, no, even Mudrabbit has ones that she's missed that I was thrown off by. I think the biggest one for me with Mudrabbit was the DeSantis one. I thought DeSantis was going to do a lot more and have a lot more involved with. I actually had more faith in DeSantis than I do now today. I'm losing faith in DeSantis.
Have you seen what he's done for us recently?
I heard what he did politically recently.
He killed our property taxes. We've got some of the highest property taxes in the nation. He said no more property taxes.
He's trying to get the Tate brothers deported because I don't know, he made some political statement the other day and was basically trying to bring charges against them and all this other stuff.
I think he's ignorant in that point. Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense with the movement that's going on though right now. What scope does that do to be like, yeah, I want to deport these American citizens that were born in the Chicagoland area?
Yeah, right. That's kind of stupid. Hey,
I like that for you, Mr. Waters. Go ahead,
Noel. Noel. Yoo-hoo. Noel.
She's laughing too hard.
When you're listening, are you listening to another stream?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Could you please mute this one so that I don't hear all that's going on? Because I can't hear Jacob or Zero.
Wow, I couldn't hear any of that. Hey, Mr. Waters, can you highlight that comment I made a funny about?
Which one? This one?
There you go.
How's that funny?
Because of the or something like that at the end, and I intentionally said it backwards on purpose.
Ooh,
That's
I got it
funny. I said it backwards Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of turned it into